Good evening. So now we are going to discuss about comparators. So normally the comparator which can be used to imply the compare the values. Okay, that means standard value into the unknown value into the standard value. So for that reason only the comparator will be used over here. So here also it's not going to measure the dimensions, only it's going to check it will be lies within the standard limit, standard value or not. Okay, so the comparators can be given precision measurement with consistent accuracy for eliminating human error. They are employed to find out how much the dimension of the given component differ from that known data. So if the indicator difference is small, the suitable magnification device is selected to obtain the desired accuracy of the measurement. So usually it's going to compare with the standard value. Okay, so with that, what is the variation it will be occurred, that we are going to check with the help of these comparators. So normally it is used to calibrate compare the values from the unknown to the standard value. The classification of comparator, it may be a mechanical comparator, a pneumatic comparator, electrical comparator, optical comparator, and electronic comparator and combined comparator like this. So mechanical comparator will works on the linkages, levers, and springs and gear pinions. Pneumatic comparator used to like high pressure air valves and back pressure, and optical comparator it works on the lens, mirror, and light sources, and electrical comparator it will be works on the transformer, step down transformer, and electronic comparator using amplifier and digital signal, and combined comparator is any of the two things. Okay, so these are all the type of comparators are there. Like combined comparator means electro optical comparator, sorry, uh, mechanical optical comparator. Okay, electrical and electronic comparator, like this comparator has to be available over there. Then comes into the characteristics of good comparator. It must be a robust and compact, easy to handle, and it should quick result. That means while resulting within a time fraction of seconds it has to provide. Then only it will be useful. While it is using in the mass production test system, the result it will be slow. Automatically the production rate also it will be reduced. So like that it has to produce some quick result, and it has to be reliable. How many times you can use the component has to be show the same result. So like that it has to be reliable. And also it should not affect the environmental issue. Okay, and the weight must be less, then only it is easy to handle. It has to be cheaper and easily available in the market, and it has a sensitive requirement, and also it has less maintenance, and also life should be more, and it should free from the backlash and wear. So these are all the characteristics the good comparator should have. Okay, and it should have these comparators, this characteristic. Maybe we can say this will be a good comparator, and also we will come into the mechanical comparator like a dial indicator. Okay, so here the dial indicator it will be works on the rack and pinion mechanism. So the rack gear is mounted on the plunger. So this is the plunger inside the rack is mounted. So the pinion gear is connected with this which one, the pointer. Okay, so the pinion and rack gear is mounted each other. Once the plunger it will be moves up, connected with the rack gear it will be moves up and down direction. So connected with the pinion gear it rotates. So in the pointer it will be connected in the top of the pinion gear, so it's going to be deflect. So from that how much deflection it will be going to be takes that we can note on. So this is the working of the dial indicator. Then how to check the component. So first initially we are going to keep the standard component over here. While keeping the standard component, we are going to set the readings over here. Okay, after setting the readings, whichever component we are going to measure, that we are going to keep over below the plunger. Suppose if any variation is there, that will be noted down with the help of this pointer. It will be indicating on the scale over there. So that is the variation from the standard dimension that we can note down. That is the size of the particular component. Okay, so this workpiece, it comes within the limit. It will be the acceptable component. It will goes exceed the limit. It is not acceptable component. Okay, so mainly the dial gauge application, it will be more. So many of application, it will be going to check the flatness, surface flatness, and also the sizes, length, breadth, width, so like that, and also height of the component, and also in uh, the sign bar, or to checking the height, it can be used, and also checking the flatness of the tapered component. So in that, like various fields, this dial gauge, it can be used over there. Okay, and also may check the parallelism, squareness. So for every purposes, this which one will be used, uh, dial gauge. So the application of the dial gauge will be more. Okay, so here the plunger is connected with the rack. Rack is connected to the pinion. The pinion other end is connected to the pointer. Pointer, the scale will be attached over in the output device. So all the comparator, it have sensing device, magnification device, and output device. So these are all the three units has to be placed over here in the comparator, all the comparator. Okay, then comes into the Johansson micro taker. So it will be it will be works on the button spinning principle. Okay, so here they will be having some twisted strip, it having the some twisted strip over here. Okay, in the twisted strip, the pointer is connected, another end the scale will be connected over here. The plunger, measuring plunger is connected over here. Here some slit washer is going to support the plunger. Below, first initially we are going to keep the standard device. Once after standard device value, you can note down with help of the scale. After that, the standard device, we are going to keep the component. Once the component, it will be varies automatically. Here the belt crank lever, it changes deflection position. Okay, so it will be activate the strip, twisted metal strip. So due to that, the pointer, it will be moves up and down. Okay, so that reading we can note down with help of the scale. Okay, so this construction, the other end of the twisted strip is connected to the cantilever beam. So any small variation, it will be takes place, the twisted strip is going to twist once again. Due to that, the pointer, it will be deflect. So that deflection we can note down with help of this scale. So it will be also on the button spinning principle. Okay, this is about the Johansson microcator. So for advantages of the mechanical comparator, it does not require any external sources like pneumatic or current source or like that. Any, it does not require any external sources, and also these devices are portable and cheaper, and also scale will be linear and easy to read. Okay, and these are all the advantages we can get from the mechanical comparator. And comes into the disadvantages of this mechanical comparator. So after long using, what happen, wear and tear, it will be takes place. Due to the wear and tear, accuracy, it may be reduced, and also magnification is compared to other devices, it will be less. Okay, so this is the disadvantages of the mechanical comparator. Thank you.